Okay, so good morning everyone. Na po running board dire. So we had this. We were able to derive d over dx, df over dx. This is known as the first derivative of f. Okay, or actually d over dx being applied to f. So we can think of the d over dx is what we call an operator. It's like another. It's another operator. A function can also be thought of like an operator, but in mathematics there really are what we call operators, which converts a function. If a function converts a number into something else, or maybe another number, an operator converts a function into another function. Okay, it operates on a function. So d over dx operates on a function f. You can think of this as that. Okay, so when we, if we put it side by side with f, like d over d, meaning it's applying to f. D over dx is applying to f. So the operator is d over dx. And when it applies to f, you get df over dx. So you can think of it like that. Okay? So, or this is notated also as f prime. Okay? Or f prime of x. The prime now is the, what we call, sa derivative. And usually this is the standard. We just take it to be the prime to shorten the notation. Okay? But take note that in this notation right here, df over dx, there are two quantities there. Okay? Although, we can think of it in what we call, df is actually what we call a differential. It's like delta. Nagamay kayo. So, we have here, for example, dx is what we call a differential. The differential of x. This is synonymous with what we, kumbaga pa, delta x. We know that, you understand delta x, right? And remember that this is just delta x, only that delta x, we take delta x approaching to 0. Not 0, but very, very small. Okay? Small enough that it becomes negligible. Everything on good is that everything, for example, my height is negligible compared to the size of the earth. So I am just an infinitesimal. My height, although my height is not 0, but compared to the size of the earth, if you take the ratio, okay, with my height to the radius of the earth, or maybe the diameter of the earth, then the ratio is not 0, but it's almost 0, and I cannot compare to it. So in mathematics, we have that language. In mathematics, our language or our grammar for that, or our structure for that is actually the differential. Okay, non-zero, approximately 0, but it's not 0. But it's nothing compared to what is being, okay? So dx is just delta x. Same as, remember that df there is just differential of f, it's just delta f, right? Asa ni gikan? Delta f, just to recall, this was from the limit of delta f over delta x as delta x approaches 0. So basically, this is the culprit of everything, the limits. Okay? So, we can also, if we have df over dx, we can actually apply again it to any function. So, we have d over dx applying to df over dx. Now, this now becomes d squared f over dx squared, or this is now f double prime of x, or just f double prime. This is what we call the second derivative. Well, you just do it. What is left of the function, what the new function now, you take the derivative of it. Okay? So, you can also have this one. Di klaro ba ni sa? Oh. No, don't think of this as dx, just like this one, dx squared is just the same as dx squared. But we don't, we're not strictly, because these are not, don't think of it as numbers. Ang ikuan. Ang numerator, pwede nga fd squared. No. It's annotation. It's actually just like sine of x, you cannot have x sine. Okay? It's the notation. It's just a notation actually. Okay? And of course, we can have higher derivatives, no? Third derivative, fourth derivative, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, let's go to, last time I asked you to have a, on the proof of this. Okay? Find the derivative of x to the n. This is for any x, for n and any integer, or actually it can be any real number. This is the limit of the function x to the n as delta x approach, delta x approaches 0 of x to the n, so x plus delta x, right? Raised to n minus x to the n over delta x, if we do this. Now, we have to deal with this one. Then we can use the binomial theorem, but I will not put the binomial theorem because it needs some knowledge on combinations. I'll just put some coefficients, whatever those coefficients is, because it will just cancel. Okay, so this is now the limit as delta x approaches 0. When we take this one, it's like multiplying x plus delta x n times. No? Nakuha? So, if you apply the binomial theorem, this becomes x to the n plus, there's a coefficient right here. I'll just put it as maybe a1. Okay, it's a this is a combination, but you don't. Many of you don't have knowledge in combinations. There's a coefficient, numerical coefficient, no? And then x times x to the n minus 1 delta x plus a2 x to the n minus 2 delta x squared. So you will see the pattern. Okay? The pattern in x is decreasing in exponent while the delta x is increasing until such time that you reach, you will have now a to the n minus 1 x to the x, and then you have delta x n minus 1 plus delta x to the n. There. Okay? So, I'll just erase this because di naman sakto. It cannot be, di naman sulod sa camera. So, plus hantod, you have x, delta x to the n. And then minus this one, x to the n over delta x. Now, this one will cancel out. And recall that, okay, the limit as delta x approaches 0 of, we will distribute delta x there. So we have now a1 x n minus 1 over delta x. So it's just, this is just a1 x to the n minus 1. Okay? Okay. Now, this a1 actually, if we use, this is n taken 0. Maybe it is alien to you, but naana siya ginatawag ka ng ganing combination. It's like the number of, combination is NCR. N taken R at a time. Maybe some of you is familiar on that, but I don't want to introduce it because it will create another confusion. Basta just accept that this is the case, and A1 is actually N. Okay? Whatever this one is, that would be A1. Okay? That is sa kuan. Okay? That is N. Now, delta X will cancel out, right? On the first one. And then plus you have, I'll just put here A2. And then you have X to the N minus 2 delta X, right? Plus, what is next? A3, X to the N minus 3 delta X squared, right? Plus hantod here, you have delta X N minus 1, right? Then we can now apply the limit because there are no longer indeterminates here, right? Because the limit approaches 0, so we can now substitute the limiting value, which is 0, and all of this will be 0, right? Except for this one. So that's why this is N times X to the N minus 1. Okay. Now, before we proceed, I'll just have some important properties of this differential. Some important properties. A property of d over dx. When you apply d over dx to the sum of two functions, f of x plus g of x, okay, it's just equal to applying it to f plus applying it to g. Okay? We have this. Now, of course, nasa yung mga how do we calculate the derivative of a product, of a sum. Okay? I will not be going into that now. If we encounter product of two functions, then we'll just do it. I'll just put it here. D over dx of f times g. These are functions. F times g, not f of g. This is f dg over dx plus df over dx times g. We call this the product rule of derivative, or sometimes it has a kanaganing mnemonic. F dg over dx plus df over dx g. First the second plus second the first. First times d of the d second, the derivative of the second, plus second d first. D first is derivative of the first times the second. So first the second plus second the first. But I wrote it in a way nga maura gyapon ang order sa f of g, because in actually sometimes it becomes, especially when we're dealing with non-commutative. Anyway, we are dealing with real numbers. I'll just put it as g times df over dx. Okay? G df. So we are not going to prove this one. I'm not going to, okay? As I've said, I'm not teaching you how, okay? I'm not going to prove this one. If you want, you can find the proof in standard calculus book, introductory calculus. This is easy to show. And then you have d over dx, the third property, first, second, and the third, of f over g. This is, okay, I'll just use the prime. Low d high, so g f prime minus high d low, f g prime over low squared, g squared. G squared, not prime. So that would mean g of x times the derivative of f of x minus f of x times the derivative of over g of x squared. Okay, just formula. Again, I'm not going to prove this one. Okay? Because our aim is just to understand the use of differential in physics. Whenever there's a heavy differentiation involved, okay, I will be explaining the process. So I will not be asking you to. There will not be an exercise. Maybe there is some basic to find the derivative of something, because at least you need to know how to calculate it. Okay. So in this case, let's apply this one to function. So d over dx of x, 3x 4 minus 2x squared plus 1. Now, this is, you can think of this as 1 f of x or f of x plus g of x plus h of x. Okay? So, then, meaning that we can just apply it there. So, what's d over dx? Okay. By the way, wala pa na ako nabutapa ko dapat gibutang dire. D over dx of any constant times f of x. This is k is a constant. This is just equal to k df over dx. This actually follows from this one. This one follows from this one. No, not this. This one right here. F being the constant. But the derivative of the constant is 0 coming from dire, katong dire ganiha. Why is the derivative of the constant 0? Well, because d over d, what is a constant? That is x to the it has some it has something that is x to the 0, right? And then some number right here. And if you apply x to the 0, okay, that is alpha times x to the 0. If you take the differential of x to the 0, it's just 0 times x to the n minus 1, to the negative 1, right? And there you have 0. So anyway, this is just equal to 3d over dx of x to the 4 minus 2 times d over dx of x squared plus d over dx of 1. Now, this is 3 times 4x to the cube, right? And this is 2 times, this is just times 2 times x to 2 minus 1. Plus, this is, of course, this is x to the 0 right here. So this is 1 times 0x to the negative 1, right? And you will see that the derivative of a constant is 0. So this is now equal to 12x cubed minus 4x. Okay? So it's just easy to do now that we have this formula. Okay? Now, I will no longer derive to you the derivatives of sines and cosines. I give to you the formula, okay, last meeting. You can look for how they were derived, okay? But the important thing is that we know that the derivative of sine is cosine, the derivative of cosine is minus sine, okay? Anyway, now we can now, I think, we can now leave the concept of derivatives and we'll have some, as I've said, applying df, let's use capital F, df over dx is equal to f of x. So here, as I've said, when you apply if you apply the derivative, okay, if you apply the derivative, I mean, the derivative operator, d over dx to a function, it creates another function, right? So that if capital F is the original function, when you take the derivative of f, capital F, you have another function, small f of x. So we say here that f of x, the small f of x, is the derivative of capital F of x. Now suppose this is now much better if we will just use this notation. F prime of x equals f of x. Now let's say if we are given f, suppose that we know we have f, small f of x. Okay? Can we find the function that actually that gives off it? Can we find its function that is what we call okay, we know f of x, and suppose we take it as, okay, this is a derivative of some function. Would we know, is there a way that we would know the function? And the answer is yes. Okay? we can go back. And that is what we call anti-differentiation. Okay, it's just, but this is not full, this is not, because there will be the problem is always the constant. But as of now, we are not going to worry with the constant. Because, God, when you differentiate a constant, whatever that constant, its differential is always, derivative is always 0. But given now, if you go from the derivative to the original function, you don't know what is that constant. Right? May problem, pagpabalik ka. Okay, we don't know what is that constant. Because originally, there is a constant, right? When you take the derivative, the constant will be, okay, mawala siya, it will vanish. But if we are here and we don't know the original, there's that problem that, what is that constant? Because there is always that, there might be that constant that vanished upon differentiation. The process of taking the derivative is what we call differentiation. Okay? Sabtan niyo? It's called differentiation. Okay, but I'll just, ano na lang. We call this now the anti-derivative. An anti-derivative. For example, an anti-derivative, if using this one, we can have df equals f of x dx. That's why I said they can be separated. Right? To find f of x, we go from differential to what we call f. From the differential of capital F to capital F. And this process is what we call an anti-differentiation. All we have to do is, this is now what we call, okay, this is an anti-differentiation. Integrate. I'll not be so formal about this. There are some theorems in formal mathematics to be able to do this. But I have skipped a lot of things right here because only, as I've said, our purpose is not mathematics but just to apply this to physics. This one right here is again another operator. Actually, this one right here is just like, this is called the integral dx. Okay? It's like an operator because this one can also be written as dx times f of x. Pwede na siya, anak. But this is usually the more common notation. It's like f of x is being sandwiched by dot and dx. Okay? But this one right here can also be, just to be sure that this one applies to f of x. Okay? So, this is what we call a reverse. So, meaning in reverse, that would mean that if we integrate n times x to the n minus 1, and then, of course, there should be dx there. You cannot integrate without that dx. Because that would mean that, okay, this must be a differential. Okay, this is equal to what? This must be equal to x to the n, right? Okay? And giving that, that's why the integral of df, this is equal to, if we follow this notation, the integral of df is just equal to f. Okay? F now is not a constant, it's a function. So, the differential, okay, it's just, kumbaga pa, what this does is that it cancels D. It cancels D, I put a quotation there, it cancels D. Because D is an operator. Not only D over dx is an operator, D is also an operator. When it acts to something, it converts it into an infinitesimal portion of the function, the change of that function. Nakuha? For example, if this is your total, if this is your f of x right here for every x, df at that point is just how this one changes. Okay? The small change right there, that's df. So it's like an operator in mathematics that converts anything into an infinitesimal delta. Okay? What this one does, this integral sign, we call this the integral sign, and you will know why it's like that. Okay? Later, karon, dx, f of x, so it cancels the effect of dx. It goes back to the original. Okay? So, the differential of any like for example, yeah, dx, taking the derivative of x, and then the differential of x is just dx. If you go back from dx to the original, that would be just x, right? Just like mao ni siya dire. Okay? So, anti-differentiation is just finding the original one. But this is a problem right here. This is not just the case. There is also plus c right here. That is the constant. Because when you differentiate this function, it might be the case that there is a plus constant there. Tama? That's why we have to respect that. We have to put some plus c right here. The constant means whatever is that. We don't know that. That is something that is a known. But in many cases, in applications, of course, we have a way of knowing what is that constant. Okay? Nasabtan ninyo? Okay. Any questions so far? Especially katong mga karon pa din na ano, karon po mo kakitaan eh. Kinsay karon pa din nakakitaan ning watinan eh. Daghan, karon pa nakakita. Okay, now let's understand anti-differentiation. But here is something like this. Think of this as a function f of x. Now, this is the x and the y axis. We may want to calculate, we have to divide this region. This is x equals a and this is x equals b. Now, we want to calculate the area below f. The area below f and of course above the x-axis. We want to calculate that area. And it's easy to calculate the area if we have what we call regular polygons, meaning made up of straight lines. Diba? But this is not made up, this curve is, this region is not entirely straight lines. In fact, okay rani straight. The problem is right here. So we could not use the formulas, the theorem from geometry in order to calculate for this area, diba? But what we can do is, since we know how to calculate using quadrilaterals or rectangles, then we are going to use that knowledge. Ana lang man sa math. Whatever that you know, you use that in order to achieve greater knowledge. Naunsa naman itawon diri. Okay. So we are going to use, we know how to calculate areas of a rectangle, diba? That's what we're going to do. That means that we are going to divide it into rectangles. There are many ways to divide it, but not will be in detail. Pwede ni siya. This is the subdivision of this one. Okay? Made up of rectangular strip. I can calculate each of this, right? So now you know have an idea how to calculate this, right? Pwede gyapon nga ipasobra nako, yana nako dito here. This can also be done, okay? Okay? Then I will just count. What is the height? This one right here, this is a rectangular strip. The height of this one is f of x. Now that x right here depends on where you evaluated that. In this case, this is now the f of x right here. So I'll just use f of x instead of, anyway, I'll just use f of xi, x sub I, no? And this is the rectangular strip. Now I'll make I'll make it in a way that this length right here, the width of that is what we call delta x. So how do you find delta x? Well, I'm going to divide this into n slices, right? It may be equal or it may not be equal, but we'll just use the equal slices. Okay, meaning that the length is, pakisarado daw ang diribe. The length of each of the width is equal. It may not be equal. Okay? So that would mean that my delta x is the length of this divided by n, right? What's the length of this? This is just b minus a over n. Okay, the video was cut actually somewhere here, so naabot na ko diri. Okay, anyway, from here, from this one, delta x, okay, and the height of this is, again, the height is just f of xi. So the area of this rectangular strip now would be the length times the width. What's the length? F of x sub I. X sub I is this one right here, where you evaluate the height. It can be somewhere in the middle, it can be at the start, pwede na siya. Okay? But as I've said, I'm not teaching the formal definite integral here. Okay. It's just like to understand what is this integration. Okay? So, this one, okay, erasan ako ni. The area of this rectangular strip A sub I is f of xi times delta x. Now, of course, the area now of this shaded region, the approximate, we call this the approximate area. The area of the shaded region, and this is approximation. So, the approximate area of that is the sum of AIs. So, every AI is like this, so it's summation. Okay? That is an approximate. That is not exact. In fact, it is not correct. It's not correct. If in this case, kabaluta that we have calculated, we have overestimated it, right? Kaya naay ng lapas, no? This part here are not part of what we want. How do we remove that? Okay, that's a problem. But it can be removed by the concept of limit, because the actual area of that is when we now take the limit of this one. Again, we go to the concept of limit of f of xi, delta x, as n approaches infinity. Meaning, as you slice this very, 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 very small, very fine, then ang katong whatever is the one nga nang lapas diha, okay, the exceeding, the overestimation will become smaller and smaller and smaller, and as n approaches infinity, it becomes 0. Okay? Nakuha? So, taking the limit as n approaches infinity, asa ang n? This one right here. Or this is also equivalent as the limit of the sum of x sub I, delta x, as delta x approaches 0. The norm of delta approaches 0. Okay. Meaning, it becomes that width right there becomes very, very small. And this is now, once we do that, once we make infinite slice, or take that almost 0, approximately 0, what you get is the true area. So now, this is powerful because we now have a way of evaluating the area of a curve. Previously, we don't have that because we can only evaluate regular polygons, diba? And this right here is actually the definition of the Riemann integral or the definite integral. This is what we call the Riemann integral, or another term for this is definite integral. This is called the Riemann sum. It's a summation. And this is the integral of f of x dx from A to B. Okay? This is now the integral. So, integration, that's why it's like this, because originally it means sum. Okay? S. But of course, as karon nahimo na siya nga nasaka na, no? Now, I'll just introduce what is this now? How do we evaluate that? Well, we'll use what we call the fundamental theorem of calculus, but there are two of this statement. I'm not in details on this one. I'll just use it for practical reason. The I'll just use it as theorem, but this is actually part of what we call the second fundamental theorem of calculus. Suppose that this is okay, this is informal. Suppose f prime is equal to f of x. F prime of x is equal to f of x. Then, the integral of f of x dx, what is this? This is f of x. Okay, again, this is the fundamental theorem of calculus. but not in a formal way. There are two statements of that, first and the second fundamental theorem. For our, I'll just use this one. I'll just introduce it informally. Okay? In order to know how to evaluate this one, because we have not yet, we don't know how to evaluate that. Okay, so the integral of 3x squared dx from negative 1 to 2. The integral of this is 3 times x squared dx. This is 3 times x to the n, x cubed over 3. By the way, I haven't written this formula. The integral of x to the n is x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. In order for it to do the reverse integral. Remember itong n to the x minus 1? It's just like, okay, na dx na diri ha. Equals that. Evaluated from negative 1 to 2. So this is now 3 times, substitute the limit. 2. So 3 times 2 cube over 3 minus 3 times negative 1 cube over 3. Nakuha? So this is 3 times 8 over 3. Mawala man di ay, di ba? Magwala ang 3, right? Okay, so that is just 2 cube minus 1. So this is just 8 minus negative 1 cube is negative 1. 8 minus negative 1, this is 9, right? Okay. So, in your calculator, calculators can actually calculate definite integral. But not all. Pero makita ninyo ng ana dira, og nay-ana yung calculator, it can calculate definite integrals. Okay?